Welcome to Robot Wars, featuring 36 competitors, 5 house robots, 1 arena, dozens of hazards. Each heat, our competitors are aiming for a place in the finals. But in order to do that, they'll have to dodge the house robots and each other. All on the quest to be Robot Wars champion. Let the wars begin. Previously on Robot Wars, we saw the 4th seeds Thor 2 hammer all comers, including Wild Things, the favourites Razor, and the underdogs Witch Doctor in the Heat Final. And Tombstone sent all comers down 6 feet under. Disembowler, Nitride, the veteran APD3, and even the seeded Adrian can withstand the power of the disc, as Tombstone knocks out the 6th seeds. So, Sir Killalot, who is up this week?
From Boolin Daunting and reigning champion, Challenger.
This is the heat we've been waiting for, as Challenger, our champions, fresh of victory of the 6 wars, come back to defend its crown. How will it do this year? The body shape is slightly different, the flipper is even better than ever. Watch this space.
From the West Midlands, Wedgehog.
Certainly a hedgehog you wouldn't like to cuddle up to. Wedgehog did very well last time. It was the only robot really to put up a good fight against Revolutionists last year. It comes back, still on the borderline of 110 kilos. It's the heaviest robot in the heat.
From Hampshire, daunting.
We can always rely on daunting to make an appearance in the wars, but on 5 previous occasions, the reliability of this robot has been its downfall. It returns for a 6th go at the title. Will daunting rise to glory or go home in a pile of rubble?
From Dorking, Splinter.
A veteran of Robot Wars, has been fighting right from the very beginning. Splinter return for a 7th go at the title. It has reached a heat final before previously. It is experienced, a little bit unreliable. It has changed the body this year at the back. We'll see how it does in the arena.
From Hull, Bots and
This looks terrifying. 3 attacks merge to form Bots and Pieces. It is a CLUSTERBOT, so even if one is still left running immobile with the other 2 immobilised, it's still allowed to continue. But will the weight be its downfall? We shall see.
From Brighton, BATTLEBOT.
A real crowd pleaser, BATTLEBOT. The legend returns after a 12-year break. It has achieved great victories in the past. It has got as far as 4th place. For me, this is Challenger's real threat for this heat. All will be revealed on how the battle board will play out, but first we have the champion fighting first against Bots and Pieces. What a fight that will be. Last we have the Battle of the Flippers. It's daunting versus BATTLEBOT. Some fight that is going to be. And Wedgehog against Splinter. We have an array of weaponry and skill in the arena today. Let's kick off the knockout stage with Challenger and Bots and Pieces. What a daunting task for the CLUSTERBOT as they stand ready to fight. And it's great to see the champion back in the arena. Killalot has no threats in the arena. He is back.
Robotics, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Well, we've got to feel sorry for poor Bots and Pieces. Its first fight ever is pitted against the champion of Robot Wars, and already, is it a chicken? A chicken way out? A coward's way out? It's already descended the pit of oblivion. Well, what can Challenger do? Which one is it going to attack? Now, really, Bots and Pieces can make a real strategy here. If they can just corner or maybe even flip Challenger, it could spell disaster for the champions, but already no, it's not. It's already flipped one of the CLUSTERBOTs out with such force. Oh my goodness me! Where on earth did that go? That's come down with snow on it. Look how far this flew. This has to be the biggest flip I have ever seen in Robot Wars. That was immense. Yes, he's only flipping 30 kilos or so out the arena, but look at this. This was just absolute skill from the champions. And wow, I mean, the Clusterbot rules, they can continue to play as two. They're not immobilized just yet. I mean, how would you recover from that? And this little other part of Bots and Pieces just trying. He's doing a really good job trying to get away from those Challenger. No, he's got into the pit. Well, that's 2 down, 1 to go. In comes the power of Challenger. Look at this skill here from the side. It tries to flip, but it does, and it ends in the pit. And Bots and Pieces actually descended the pit, so it's not Challenger's fault there. It's their own fault for descending the pits. I could see why they were doing it. They were trying to get rid of the champions as quickly as possible. But Challenger here already impressing us so far in the tournament. It's already defeated 2 robots. Is it going to defeat a 3rd robot? One's out the arena, one's in the pit. Where are they going to put this one? In comes Challenger again, trying to get that flipper in. It's a body spinner. This 3rd piece of Bots and Pieces. Well, as you can see, that part, should I say, that 3rd is down out in the pit. No coming back from you, and over goes Bots and Pieces, part 3, should we say, out the arena! What a performance from the champion. This was the moment it just left the universe, the Robot Wars universe, and it came down meters away. Then the second part suffered from the flip and the pit of oblivion. No going back from you, and then the 3rd part. Well, if that wasn't impressive enough, Challenger has completely swept up underneath, just avoided the floor flipper before this. Ouch! Look, it skirted the perspex sheet, and out went Bots and Pieces. That was awesome. That has got Challenger through to another heat semi-finals, as you can see there. Not the end for Bots and Pieces, we'll be seeing them shortly, but next up, another good fight here, Splinter and Wedgehog, 2 veterans of the wars.
Roboteers, stand by.
The scorpion like dead metal is in the arena. Do hedgehogs like scorpions? I don't really know, to be honest.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Not the hedgehog you want to come across on a dark night. It did brilliantly in its first appearance in the 6th Wars and was one of the only robots to ever defeat Revolutionists. This is how good Wedgehog was last year. And to be honest, as you can see here, it is all down to those spikes because they weigh the robot down and they're so heavy. So it gives the robot a real nasty streak. And of course, a great defensive ability here with those spikes. But Splinter, you've got to admire Splinter. Goodness me, look at the slam on that. And look, I think, has just pinned Splinter against the wall and has ripped the tyre off, the wheel off with those spikes, like I said, so deadly. We've seen the impact of these spikes before on so many occasions, as it's just done the same to Splinter here. I don't think Splinter can recover from that. Look, their wheel isn't on the ground. It's just going to go around in circles. Well, Wedgehog, I can serve you energy and wait for the next round, because Splinter isn't going to get anywhere at all with one wheel. It really is now up to the house robots, the floor flipper, the arena flipper, and it's just descended the pit of oblivion. Yes, it descends in the arena. So now both robots have to avoid the pit. But Wedgehog, I would just literally stay out of the way. Let the arena hazards sort Splinter out, as you can see there. That has just happened. Splinter on its side. I don't think it can recover. Look at this. The impact and the weight of Wedgehog is immense. Look how it's just crippling Splinter. It really is. Leaving Splinter in splinters, and Refbot now comes in to stop the fighting and starts the count for Splinter. Well, worthy. We will be seeing it in the losers playoff shortly, but that is the end for Splinter. They'll have to get through another fight to qualify, but at the moment, Dead Metal is dealing with the rubbish, placing Splinter onto the flames.
Cease.
Another good performance from Wedgehog. Where did it go wrong? Well, it's as simple as this, really. The power of the spikes of Wedgehog did this. Look at the impact on the wall, and that really took a hold of the wheel, came off, and that was it. There was no going back for Splinter. Once the floor flipper had them, they were flipped. No more. Out goes Splinter. Will Wedgehog progress with style? But next up, it's the battle of the flippers. It's the experienced BattleBot against daunting. What a fight this is going to be.
Robotic, stand back. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Again, a lot of experience here. BattleBot, always a pleasure to see in the arena. They are one of the veterans, one of the original robots who we haven't seen for nearly 12 years. It is a pleasure to have them back in the arena for another crack at the title. Now, what can they do? What a flip! Oh, goodness me, I heard that come down and felt the pain on the impact. Just look at this from this is some flipper. They have improved this since the last time we saw them in the 5th Wars. Look at that height. I think that's more powerful than Challengers. I really do. I think daunting has just been immobilised from that. It must have locked something loose as it comes in the pit. Again, descends. Is BattleBot going to end this with one clean sweep and push daunting down the pit? They are. What a performance. What a quick fight. I am so happy that BattleBot are back with what appears to be an amazing flipper. We've seen the power before in the past, but I've never seen BattleBot flip like this before. It missed the first time. Great dodging, great skill from daunting, but then this happened. Back control led BattleBots to flip, and that came down with some force. No wonder daunting couldn't self-right from that. This was the flip, I think, of the heat. In terms of a robot actually staying in the arena, that is. I mean, that was brilliant performance from BattleBot. Clear winners, and what a quick fight that was. That has to be one of the quickest fights we've seen so far in the series. We have our 3 winners, but our 3 losers now will all meet in the losers playoff. Remember, only one can survive to join the 3 remaining robots. This is going to be interesting because there's technically 5 robots competing here. Very interesting playoff we are about to see. What's even more amazing, Matilda's back, and she's got bad breath. Stay away!
3, 2, 1.
Good fight this. I don't think we've ever seen so many robots in the arena together at once. As daunting here really now coming in for the kill as they try to make some sort of a strategy to try and get 3 of these robots. Now, one of them's gone in towards Matilda. If you actually notice, 2 of these robots are veterans from the wars. Another flip there from daunting is Axios and Sir Rama, who were original ant weights in the arena quite some time ago now, but they have been in the arena together. They've decided to form, and that was the flip we just see there from daunting. Flip themselves, and they've decided the pace, is it? No, it's Rogue Robot! The Rogue Robot comes out, and in comes Matilda. Now, this is someone you don't want to get in the middle of and flip you out the arena because she has the power to do that, but she's come out of daunting. Just about survived, I think. No, she's coming in for the kill again as a turn. daunting up and over. They can't self-right. They've just about survived and recovered their flipper from their last encounter with BattleBot as Matilda comes in with a flip, and has flipped one of the CLUSTERBOTs out the arena. She is on form again. Look at this. Over the Perspex wall. That was a heck of a flip from the house robot there. And another one, I think, that's just got out the arena as well. That's 2. 2 gone. 1 from Matilda, 1 from daunting. Again, this was some flip halfway across the arena floor. Wasn't as impressive as Challengers, but still, it just bounced. It sort of bounced. It wasn't even intentional to go out the arena. It just bounced out. So that's it. And over goes. It's just got into the other corner of the CPZ. Splinter now is in trouble. Topsy-turvy. It's upended. It can self-right, but its flipper's just been ripped off again. daunting now well on the way to redeeming themselves and joining the 3 semi-finalists. Well, I would just leave Splinter in the corner. There's still Axios, the Axios robot from the ant weights that we saw many moons ago on the attack. It is destroying. Oh, look at this! It's just trying to destroy daunting, and doing so has flipped daunting up on its edge. Up on its end, I don't think. Can it get itself away from there? Are we in for another major shock here? Splinter is being counted out by the ref bot. Well, we know that that's the end of Splinter for this series of the Wars. Very unfortunate to lose again in the heats is Splinter. Worthy machines coming back again and again. But the drama now, the action, oh, there we go, is all on. These two, the last two surviving, and daunting here, I think, has been one of the most unluckiest machines to ever grace the arena. They have managed, though, to, at the moment, is out on top in this three-way playoff. Bots and Pieces is on its side. Can it get itself away from there? I'm not too sure. As daunting here very cleverly clicks, presses the pit of oblivion, and down goes Bots and Pieces. Well, that was a bit all over the place. Bots and Pieces literally all over the arena as daunting here confirms its position and will now meet the champion. How unlucky can you get? You win one and now you are pitted against Challenger. Oh, what an unlucky draw daunting here has had this heat.
Robot ears, stand by.
Overseeing the heat semi-finals is Matilda. And for the first time tonight, it's Shunt.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Another battle of the flippers. If you thought BattleBot's flipper against daunting here was impressive, I'm sure we're in for a treat here as daunting here now is under a lot of pressure. Well, the flip has already happened there from Challenger, coming in for the kill again, and another one. Daunting here is going to need the gas on board, but if it lands in a position like that, they're going to be in major trouble because Challenger will challenge and get daunting here into this position. This is very, very clever. I think it's more luck than judgment, but Challenger now well on top and well on the way to going into another heat final here as the flip. Oh, well darted from daunting here. That will count in its favour with the style and the control, but now Challenger here is the flipper raised. Daunting here is trying to get underneath Challenger, but I think the lowest ground clearance is coming from Challenger. As you can see there, another great flip. Landed right way up though, so daunting here now can come in for another attack if he can just get that flipper underneath Challenger, and it has done. Yes, onto its side. Now Challenger in all sorts of trouble now. They're on the back. They can self-right from that position. If they can just get... Oh, very, very good skill. Look at this flip. Oh, that was incredibly fast. Brilliant control, brilliant style from the champions. Challenger here at the back now of daunting here trying to flip daunting here at the arena. What a shame. Daunting here now getting into the corner. They need to get themselves out of there. Otherwise, the champions will take advantage. The flipper raises of Challenger. Is that stuck open? And oh, goodness me. I thought we were in for a surprise and a shock there if that flipper hadn't have come down. Daunting here again on its back. It needs to get itself away from there. I think the CO2 in the gas is very limited. I think it's running out. Is daunting here mobile? In goes Challenger to activate the rogue robot. Shunt now coming in for the kill. In he comes with his axe and he's penetrated down onto daunting here. Very tough armor on daunting here. It's one of its strengths, but look at the power of Shunt. He's just completely taken advantage of that open flipper, and he's just found that weak spot. Oh my goodness me, has that any way damaged the flipper? I think it has. Look at this. It came in and slammed. I think that's done major damage to daunting here. I might be wrong. Oh, goodness me, the power of these house robot attacks in this series already proving pretty fatal. Has that flipper been destroyed by Shunt? It's not self-righting, is it? We are going to a judge's decision, and Challenger has failed to finish off daunting here. Well, there's only one winner for me. I think it's pretty clear, but daunting here did incredibly well to stay in there. Now, if that fight had lasted any longer, I do think daunting here would have been counted out because we're about to see Shunt do all the damage. It wasn't Challenger. Yes, they flipped. Yes, the flips were impressive, but daunting here got a great few attacks here. Challenger, though, landing back on its feet in fine style as Challenger again flips. Nearly dumps daunting here on its back again, and this attack will account against daunting here, unfortunately. And again, once more, but it was at this point Challenger pressed the button, it activated the rogue robot. In came Shunt. Now this is going to be crucial. Did this attack cause the flipper to malfunction? I think it did. In it came. That was the killer blow. And I don't think the flipper worked after that attack from the house robots. I really don't. Challenger ending it by flipping daunting here. Brilliant fight. Brilliant. It really was a battle of the flippers and a good drawn long out fight. But the winner is Challenger, the champion, safely through to another heat final. And daunting here, one of the most unluckiest robots to ever enter the arena. It's been up against challenging robots in all series, and in Series 1 suffered the same fate as it did in this series. The flipper was the letdown. That is the end for daunting here from this series. Next up is Wedgehog and BattleBot.
Roboty, stand by.
Can BattleBot rise to glory once more? Or can Wedgehog cause an upset here?
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Wedgehog, known for causing many upsets. One of them, of course, being Revolutionist in the last series, but meanwhile, BattleBot's flipper, just so powerful. But the thing is now with the spikes, BattleBot's ground clearance can actually get onto most of those spikes, so unless Wedgehog can do what you can see it's doing now, I think BattleBot here could be onto another winner. Look at their weight! Although the weight of the flip has caused Wedgehog's self-rising mechanism to come off, and now BattleBot is underneath. Oh, it is flipped Wedgehog right up and over goes Wedgehog. Have you ever seen a hedgehog turn turtle before? You have now. On towards the floor. Spike pit. What an attack from BattleBot, and I don't think Wedgehog can get any traction or self-right because the self-rising mechanisms come off. Matilda in the distance, looking on throughout the flames as they rise and shunt now, adding insults to injury, and is over the carcass of Wedgehog, who I don't think can recover from that attack. That simple first attack, it didn't quite flip over Wedgehog. It was so heavy that it didn't quite flip it over, but in doing so has caused the self-rising arm to rip off, and out goes Wedgehog for this series. What a climax this has been, this fight. And look at this, BattleBot now trying to get revenge. We've seen BattleBot attack shunt before in the past, and we love to see this against the house robots. Oh, but cease has been called. Look at this. Wedgehog. Oh, I can smell burnt hedgehog. How'd you like your hedgehog? Well done? Well, you can certainly see from that angle that Wedgehog really is being toasted alive. And up she goes! She's on fire! In goes Refbot to try and sort something out. I'm not too sure what he can do, but off goes Wedgehog, burnt to a crisp. What a dramatic exit from the series from Wedgehog. But that was the flip. It didn't even flip Wedgehog over. It was the impact falling back down from the flip from BattleBot that caused the self-rising arm to come off. Don't know why it was so easy to come off. Mustn't have been fixed on properly right from the word go. A second flip here from this experienced veteran. Over goes Wedgehog, up in a pile of burning debris. And that is the lineup for the Heat Final. Our champions versus BattleBot. What a fight, a battle of the flippers. Who is going to win? This could go either way from what we've seen from both machines. Obviously, this first fight, and because Challenger is the champion, they have to start as the favourite, as we've seen them perform so well, especially with that first flip. Out went 1/3 of bots and pieces in one of the biggest flips we've ever seen, if not the biggest flip we've ever seen. Then, into the pit went the second third of bots and pieces, followed by the final third out the arena once more, over the Perspex glass. That's how powerful this flipper is. Then, daunting here put up an amazing fight, a good long hard battle here, went the distance to a judge's decision. This impact here from the house robots, Shunt's axe did the damage, and that was it. daunting here's flipper stopped working, and the final flip ended it for daunting here, even though it did technically go the distance, lasted the 3 minutes. Challenger victorious, starts as the favourite for the Heat Final this time around. It is the champion. There is no other flipper as powerful in the wars. They start as the Heat favourites. But BattleBot, we all know BattleBot from all those years ago, slugging it hard in the arena. They've been involved in some of the most gripping and most memorable fights we've ever seen in the wars, and they've done the same this time around. First with this amazing flip against daunting here. You could feel daunting here come crashing down, the impact, and then another quick fight. If you had to pick in terms of the skill and how impressed we are by the fights that we've seen, BattleBot, I think, could win. 2 very quick fights. The second, of course, in the Heat semi-finals was against Wedgehog. I think Wedgehog was very unlucky here to lose its stream egg, otherwise we could have seen another long, hard fight. It got caught onto the flame pits, overseen by the house robots, over the carcass, and that's when Wedgehog went up in a blaze of burning delight. And BattleBot makes it through. It's only failed to reach the Heat final on 1 occasion out of its 5 previous attempts. It's got through to the grand final in the first war. This is a true warrior of the arena. As RefBot warms up the arena, Killlot watches on. He's about to see something very special, I think. 2 very well-respected robots here. BattleBot and Challenger, a lot of experience between them. This could go either way, it really could. Matilda patrols with Sir Killlot for this great final we're about to see, I'm sure.
Robot teams, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
2 very evenly looking robots here, both wedge shapes and flippers, and of course there we can see BattleBot, I think, has just snuck in with the ground clearance there, so they must be closer to the arena floor. Oh, but Challenger has flipped BattleBot the cam self right from there, and have done in great style, and has ascended the pit. Yes, the pit has come into play. I was going to say, don't activate a rogue robot in the Heat final, they terrify me at the moment. Oh, and it's a flip, and it's in the pit, I don't believe it. What skill and what a bit of luck, you've got to admit. Oh my goodness me, once again, BattleBot end in the pit. Oh goodness me, what a quick fight that was. Well, BattleBot, this isn't the last we'll see of it. They will be in the redemption rounds towards the end of the series, but now Challenger attempts to take on Sir Killlot. Oh, Challenger, the champions now. Oh, Matilda's not liking this as she flips Challenger. And goodness me, you don't want to get anywhere near a flywheel. She will do some deadly damage, and I think the flippers come off Challenger. That's what you get for attacking the house robots. Goodness me, it's without a flipper. You wouldn't believe Challenger's just won the Heat and through to another semi-finals, but Killlot now exacting a bit of revenge from that initial attack onto the flipper of BattleBot into the pit. And there we can see, oh, and a great little bit of defending from BattleBot till the bitter end. In the pit you go, Challenger. What a final that was. This was it. This was when Challenger managed to get it to the back of BattleBot, and then the flip, the crucial flip, it just happened to end in the arena pit. The pit of oblivion, swallowing BattleBot. And that is the end. For now anyway. And then we saw the cheek of Challenger. We've seen it before, attacking the house robots, but going after the biggest out of all the robots to attack, you decide to go for Killlot. Matilda wasn't happy as she came in. A bit of damage for Challenger. That'll have to be rectified for the finals. But look at this last bit of defending work from BattleBot. Right to the bitter end, flipping back Challenger as they both lay to rest in the pits. You wouldn't think Challenger won, but he has. So Killlot's message is quite clear. You may be the reigning champion. You may be top seeded. You may be through to another semi-finals. But come across me again and you will pay the ultimate price.